Hello everyone, welcome to video lecture series of Communication Engineering. Today's topic is adaptive delta modulation. In this video I am going to talk about what is the reason why to use adaptive delta modulation, the transmitter and receiver part, some of the advantages of adaptive delta modulation. Let us begin. First, let us talk about the adaptive delta modulation and why it is being used. In the previous video, we have discussed about the delta modulation, and in the case of the delta modulation, there are two major drawbacks, which is about the slope overload distortion and the granular noise. Means the quantization error exists in the case of the delta modulation. So to overcome the quantization error, that is the slope overload distortion or granular noise, the step size is made adaptive according to the variations in the input signal. What we have discussed in one type, in the slope overload error, there is remedy to change the step size, while in the other case also how to vary the step size accordingly, that is going to be reduced. Means if you just recall, then we have discussed that slope overload distortion, and that particular case the step size must be increased, while in the case of the granular noise the solution is to make the step size small. It means depending upon the nature of the input signal, the step size must be adaptive. Adaptive delta modulation is mostly used in the steep segment of the signal xt, and the step size is increased or decreased when the input is varying slowly. So the type of method which is having adaptive nature of varying step size, that is known as the adaptive delta modulation. There are certain advantages which adaptive delta modulation has over the delta modulation. In case of adaptive delta modulation, signal to noise ratio is better in comparison to the delta modulation because of the reduction in the slope overload distortion or granular noise. Here, step size is variable, so the dynamic range of adaptive delta modulation is wider. And utilization of bandwidth is also better in case of adaptive delta modulation in comparison to the delta modulation. So these are the various advantages of the adaptive delta modulation. Now let us discuss about the transmitter section of adaptive delta modulation. First, we need to draw the block diagram. You can see over here, this is the transmitter section, and here the logic for step size control is added. Logic for step size control. When we have discussed the diagram for the delta modulation, this block was missing over here, and rest of the block diagram is same. So here you can observe that there two summer circuits are used, number 1 and number 2. What happened over here? The summer in this particular part, number 2, which is a part of the accumulator, it adds quantizer output with the previous sample approximation. Previous sample approximation is this, and the quantizer output could be written as B of n ts. So it is doing what? It is adding these two signals and producing the output u n ts. So the previous sample, that is being actually restored by delaying one sample period, and now what is being happen at the summer 1 input signal, which is NTS, and the staircase approximated signal, which is X cap NTS. So these two are being added, right? But here you can see the sign, this is plus, this is minus. So on the basis of the difference of input and the staircase approximated signal, error signal is being computed. So error signal, that is the difference between the sampled input signal and the staircase approximation of the signal. So depending upon the sign of the error signal, 1 bit quantizer generates the output, right? Whatever the sign of the error signal. So quantizer generates the output. Output may be plus delta or minus delta. If the step size is delta, binary 1 is transmitted. If the step size is minus delta, binary 0 is being transmitted. So here the logic which is being added, logic for the step size control, here the step size increases or decreases according to the specified rule. Here according to the specified rule depending upon 1-bit quantizer, right? So that is why the step size is adaptive in nature, how much it must be increased or decreased. So you can take one particular example just to understand it. If we say that 1-bit quantizer output is high, the output of 1-bit, let me write it, output of 1-bit quantizer, if this is high, high means 1. Now what will happen? The step size may be doubled. This is for just an example I have taken. Step size may be doubled. If the output is low, means 0, this step size may be reduced by 1 step. So you can see here there is a not fixed variation in the increase and decrease. In just this particular example I have explained you, depending upon the value 1, step size may be doubled or the step size may be reduced by 1 step. So accordingly you can plot the staircase waveform of the adaptive delta modulation and the sequence of bit which will be transmitted accordingly. So you can understand in this way, you can explain the transmitter section over here. This is the waveform which shows the staircase waveform of the adaptive delta modulation and the sequence of bits which is to be transmitted. So this is actually the binary 1-bit quantized signal. 1-bit quantized signal. Xt is the input signal, ut is the staircase approximation. Here you can observe in this particular diagram 2 different step size have been taken, delta 1 and delta 2. So here you can observe when the signal is moving from this particular place to this place, you can observe there is a increase in the step size, right? It means here delta 2 is greater than delta 1. 1 is being transmitted in this particular case. At the same time you can observe from this particular point to this particular point there is a decrease in the step size. Step size is being decreased by 1 and 0 is being transmitted. So depending upon the output of the 1-bit quantizer, the step size may be increased and decreased as per the requirement of the input signal. That is why this is known as an adaptive delta modulation. Now let us draw and discuss the receiver portion. So in the receiver portion of the adaptive delta modulation, you can observe in this particular diagram. So overall it can be understood in 2 portions. This particular portion which is after this particular dotted line, that is actually the accumulator section, right? This is the accumulator. So overall there are 2 portions. Then first portion that is going to produce the step size. Step size from where? From the incoming bit, and exactly the same process is followed which was happened in the case of the transmitter. The previous input and the present input decides the step size. Only the comparison is to be done depending upon the present value and the previous value, and a basis upon the comparison that is being it is being applied to the accumulator. This particular portion, the second portion, the accumulator. So first portion is doing what? That is comparing the present and previous input, deciding the step size, that is being applied to the second half which is the accumulator over here, and this particular accumulator, it builds up the staircase waveform. So the staircase waveform is being built up by this accumulator, and then you can observe there is a low pass filter also, and the function of this low pass filter is to smoothen out the staircase waveform so that the reconstruction of original signal is easy, and that could be done accurately. So low pass filter smoothen out the staircase waveform to reconstruct the original signal. This is how you can explain the receiver section of the adaptive delta modulation. And you must remember that the advantages. See, advantages are the signal to noise ratio is better in comparison to the ordinary delta modulation, and here variable step size exists, so the dynamic range is wider. At the same time, bandwidth utilization is better in comparison to the delta modulation. Thank you so much for watching this video.